place. Someone flicks me a bag by you. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, like, and share. I go by the name of BIYENGE, featuring your Truly Tre. What's good?
What's going on, cuz? And what's going on to the people? Hopefully everyone's enjoying their Sunday. So happy, blessed Sunday to the community, to the world. So wherever you are in this world, just let us know in the chat. But before we get into the show properly, because I know not a lot's happened during the boxing weekend, but we've got a tremendous topic that we're going to discuss, and that was put together by yourself. But before we get into the show, here's a word from our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. Yes, people, you know the spiel by now. It's iBoxingHub in association with D-Rock. So people, take advantage of the discount code, which is iBoxingHub24, and you get 40% off everything. So if you liked my hoodie, if you liked what my cousin was wearing during the shadow boxing, just head over to the description and utilize that discount code. And also, people, we're just going to let you know in advance, D-Rock have a new autumn range, which is coming out. So all of us, we're obviously going to be promoting it. We're going to be wearing it. So I hope you guys like it. So look, big up to our sponsors and our partners, D-Rock Clothing. But cuz, let's get down to business. The title of the show is Welterweight Warzone, who rules the division in 2025. Cuz, you come up with this title, and I'm excited that we're obviously going to talk about the welterweight division. So let's get started, man. What are you saying?
Do you know? I don't even know, because at the moment the division is booming at the moment. I mean, you've got, I believe, Rolly Romero is now the WBA champion.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got Marius Barrios. He's the WBC champion. You've got Brian Norman, who's the IBF champion, and then. No, sorry, the WBO champion, and then obviously you've got there's the IBF title was vacated. I've forgotten their name. You've got two people going to be fighting for them, but yeah. So this division at the moment is moving. You know, before the division for me was the lightweight division, but as it stands, obviously, Boots Ennis has moved up now to 154. It's interesting just to see what's his name, the guy who beat Harlem Eubank. What's his name again?
Jack Catchell.
Yes. So Jack Catchell, I think he's interested in challenging Rolly Romero for his title. I believe Jack Catchell now is officially moving up to 147.
Yeah. It's looking interesting, cuz, and you said it best. At the moment, obviously, Rolly Romero was the WBA regular champion, but because, you know, Boots is moving up, he's become, you know, the full champion, which, you know, makes the division interesting. You got Marius Barrios El Azteca still holding his WBC championship. You know, to a lot of people, they're probably saying, how's this guy still champion? But he is still champion. And then you've got obviously Brian Norman Jr., you know, who's currently the WBO champion as well, which makes things interesting because he's going to be defending his belt against, you know, a former undisputed, not Mayweather, sorry, but the former undisputed champion in Devin Haney. You know, he's come up 2 weight classes now. I think he's obviously trying to make it 3. So let's see what happens. Cause I put a picture up there. Does Mayweather look at the division and he says, you know what? let me come back and just clear it out, man. Because I think he can if he wants to. Because if you're seeing what Pacquiao's been able to do, you know, especially in that result, I kind of put that result down to Marius Barrios was a bit starstruck on the night, man. He wasn't really trying to, you know, hurt, you know, his. So we just.
I get it, but listen, he's the champion. He's got to defend his belt, you know. So I think, if anything, he probably thought it would be an easy fight, and maybe the training he probably didn't. I don't know. Maybe he just thought, I'll get him out there between, I don't know, around 8 and 12. He's probably reflecting on the fight when he had with Ugas when Pacquiao fought Ugas. Obviously, it went to distance, but you obviously Ugas won the fight. But I don't know. But having said that, look, if let's just say Floyd was to come back and fight Marius Barrios and beats him, I think it's disgraceful. When I say disgraceful, I'm not saying that Floyd's disgraceful. It's just a simple fact that, right, so all these champions, what is it? What are they? They're supposed to be defending it on it. If anything, they're supposed to be beating the likes of Floyd Mayweather. They're beating the likes of Manny Pacquiao, because they're gone past their prime. They're finished. No disrespect to them, but do you know what I mean? But if somebody comes out of retirement, you know, who's like what, 20 odd years older than you, and he's doing that to you, then that's just, you need to question yourself, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, 100%. And big up to Raz, Punch Out Boxing. Punch Out Boxing is obviously involved in the chat. He's saying, evening, I reckon Haney redemption. So I'm guessing he's talking about, you know, the fight with Brian Norman Jr., cuz, man. But what are you saying? Sorry, cuz.
Do you know what? I'd say Haney on points. Haney on points. Yeah, Haney on points. But just remember, you know, Brian, that's his weight, 147. Obviously, Haney's moved up to 147, so the powers might be different. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it just depends on, you know, Haney's game plan. Like, I personally think get Haney on, like, if it goes to distance, Haney wins. If it doesn't go to distance, then unfortunately, you know, Haney will possibly lose.
No, definitely. Big up to FK Breeze, my brother. We've missed you, man. Hopefully you've been well, man. It's been a while. He's saying, come on, the boys. Now, big up to you, my brother. It's good to have you back. And I think this is a bit of a special one for you because, you know, you love the welterweight division. And, oh, yes, Lucy's fats always coming through. Fats, man. Big up to Lucy. Lucy's obviously saying the IBF belt goes to the winner of Crocker versus Donovan 2 next month. Yes. And Brian Norman, it's looking like a menace. But yeah, Haney on points, and Raz obviously saying Haney can frustrate and stink the place out with a negative defensive showing. But yeah, Kazman, sorry, what you saying, man?
Yeah, no, I'm saying Haney on points. I'm going for Haney on points. But here's a question. I know it's it's too early to ask this question. I'm going to ask that to everyone. Who can you see running this division? Who can you see becoming the undisputed welterweight champion?
It's a good question. People, get involved. Are we going to see something special? You know, this is a good opportunity for a Conor Benn to really come through if he's what he is to do a job. Or could we see a situation where, you know, Shakur, is he heavy enough to move up to a welterweight division? We don't know. Or could we see a situation where Teofimo also looks at the division and says, you know what, let me move up there and see what it's about, man, because it's wide open, man, you know, especially with the ring belt being vacant, especially with the IBF being vacant. And, you know, now Rolly Romero's been, you know, promoted as the full champion. I think the division's wide open. Even Rolly can do a job in the division. Haney can, you know, clear out the division. We've seen him do it at lightweight. Can he, you know, replicate that form and do it at welterweight? We don't know. Or could this just be Brian Norman Jr.'s time, man? Because he originally wanted Boots. Obviously, the Boots fight didn't happen. Maybe that will happen at 154 in the future. But we just don't know, man. And the chat right now is going crazy, man. I think PBC might try make Romero versus Pac-Man. I hope not. Haney can outpaint all of them, but I don't see an undisputed tournament. I want to see an undisputed tournament. I can't even lie to you. I think it would all be scattered, and they would all stay in their own lane, own side of the street. So Ra and FK Breeze is saying that everyone will kind of, hold a belt and no fights are going to happen. And I like Norman Jr., but I don't think there's a dominant fighter in the division right now, which is fair from Lucy's facts. That's why it's wide open.
If Turkey gets involved, the fights are happening. Because at the moment, it seems like PBC doesn't want to work with Turkey or Sheikh. It seems that way. I could be wrong, but let's make these fights happen. Let's get these boys rich. Well, they're rich already, but do you know what I mean? Like, let's make them happen. Because at the end of the day, like, look, how long until they move up? I mean, look at Crawford and Errol Spence. They were in that division for time, and they were not that they were struggling, but they used to be painful just to make weight for them.
Yes, because the politics.
Yeah, of course. So that's what I'm saying. So these cats in the division now, I think they should fight each other. We need to have one king. We need to have one king. The same way, also years ago when we were talking about the heavyweight division, we could have had an undisputed champion. This is when AJ and Wilder were champions. You know what I mean? If they fought, then we would have had the undisputed champion. But it's just funny how, obviously, it's Usyk who's now the undisputed champion. It's just the way I see it. Sometimes in this division, it might not be none of them. It might be somebody else who just comes in and just tears it up. Same way Usyk's done in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it could even be Conor Benn.
That's what I said to you. Yeah, that's what I said, because like the
Conor Benn can unify the division.
It's perfect right now for someone who's hungry enough to say, you know what, let's make it happen. Tio might even move up to the division. Even it could be a situation because he lost a fight, but you're still going to see big fights with, Ryan Garcia in that mix as well. It'll just be interesting to see what happens, man. I just want to run through a few of the comments, man. I just love that everyone's getting involved. Ra Huckham, all the way from Punch Up Boxing. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He's obviously saying Barrios versus Mayweather. Rolly Romero versus Pac. We could get May versus Pac too. Everyone keeps pushing this out, man. Everyone keeps pushing this out. Are we going to see? Are we going to see this number two? Because are we going to see it? It's mad.
The way I see it, right? This is how I see it. Right? Financially, it'll make sense. In terms of if Romero fights Pacquiao, that'll probably be one of his biggest payday. Yeah. If Barrios fights Floyd, that'll be his biggest payday. Yeah. Floyd v Pacquiao. Let's just say Floyd wins WBC and Pacquiao wins the WBA. Dude, the rematch will be even bigger than the one before because they're both champions. Well, do you know what I mean? So and they're coming out of retirement. So it'll be huge. But then I think it'll be unfair for those who are actually in the rankings top 10 who worked hard and deserves a title shot, whereas you're just giving it to these legends, which I thought is unfair. But again, it's business. I get it, I see it, but it's unfair. Would I tune in? Of course I would. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I mean, look. Put it this way. Yeah. All right. Let's just say that happens. Floyd beats Pacquiao. No, sorry. Yeah. Floyd beats Pacquiao, yeah. Floyd is the WBC and WBA. Conor Benn challenges Floyd and Floyd beats Conor Benn. Then what? It's bad, isn't it?
He would just keep collecting the belts, cuz, man. That's what he does, man. So, no, Mayweather just does what he does, man. And I just love that everyone's just getting involved, cuz. Let me just run through some of these comments, of course. But Raz obviously say PBC are the only ones with sense not working with Turkey. FK Breeze is saying, no, I think the fight will happen because they're all themselves and they're not big money individuals, which is true. FK Breeze is saying you're having a laugh. You ain't. I think he's saying you had too much Madesu. Madesu's basically beans in Congolese, man. So big up to FK Breeze. They'll probably have to literally guarantee Floyd 100 million to get him to fight, which makes sense. And I reckon the IBF champion can milk it in Ireland and Money May all day, but he's 48. I don't know how he would look. And Conor Ben might be too fast for him now, which, you know, makes sense, cuz, man. Big up to the people for getting involved, man. This is just, I love these kind of topics, cuz, because it's we're kind of forecasting what's going to be happening in the next, you know, few months. You know, the division's going to look very much different by the end of the year. And look, I've said it a few times, cuz, man, and I'm sure, you know, Turkey must see these shows or is tuned into it. If you do get an opportunity, His Excellency, we need to see a Super 6 tournament for all the belts, man, so we can have one face, one champion, and one holder of all of the belts in the division, man, because a Super 6 as well. We need to see it, because we've seen it in the past. Can we not get again for the welterweight division? And this division, because from a historical standpoint, it's the golden division, one of the golden divisions, outside, obviously, of the heavyweight division, man. So let's see what happens, man.
Of course. What was I was going to say something. Do you know what's interesting? Conor Ben. I'm hearing, him and Eubank, it may happen in November. I think they're still going through negotiation, etc. However, if it doesn't happen, right, I would like to see Conor Ben fight Ryan Garcia.
Okay.
I'd rather Conor Ben fight Ryan Garcia than Romero Rowley or Marius Barrios.
No, definitely. Because
the reason I'm saying is I think that if he wants a title shot and he feels that he deserves a title shot, prove it. Fight someone at 147, one of the killers. You beat them, you get it. Because look, I know people are gonna say, "Oh, he hasn't won a European, he hasn't won a British title, blah blah blah." But look, if he beats a legitimate 147, someone, you know, top 10, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because I think it makes sense. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we know boxing has its own politics that us as fans, we don't know about in the back end. But at the end of the day, I think that would make sense. Put, you know, Conor versus Ryan Garcia, for example, like you said, so we can kind of see where he's at as well. And it kind of goes to what Lucy's asking as well. Can Conor fight a legit welterweight contender or no? This is something that we need to find out as well.
I believe so. I believe so. I mean, I know he fought Eubank Jr. and, you know, there was rehydration clause, etc. But obviously I know he wasn't at 147. He was fighting that bigger weight. But I believe he can compete with some of these killers. You know, I really do. I think. Do you know what? I'm beginning to think like we are overlooking at Conor Ben's ability. I reckon that he will shock the world with some of these opponents that we're talking about right now. And I'm not just saying it because he's a Brit, no, but I think if he has opportunity, he's just raw, you know. So I think he will give half of the people in the what, half of the champions problems. I honestly think he'll give half the champion problems. The only thing is just that who obviously wants Marius Barrios. The reason why he wants Marius Barrios, because obviously he's ranked at the WBC. But me personally, it's for some bias from saying this, but it seems like out of all of the current champions, Marius Barrios seems like the weakest link. Do you know what I mean? That's why he's going for Marius. I mean, why not call out what's his name? Brian Norman.
Yeah, it's true. He's probably looking at that fight that's coming up with you know, with Haney. That's obviously gonna be.
I get that. But I'm talking about like before. And I'm saying like, why not call out these? Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like, let's be real. I mean, back in the days when Crawford and Errol Spence were champions, yeah, if you called them out, it'll be silly. But it's just like now, it's like this is the opportunity. Okay, if you really wanna win the belt, okay, fight Ryan Garcia. That'd be a warm up fight for you, innit? Back in your weight class. Then fight Barrios or call out all any of the other champions.
Yeah, definitely. And Lucy's obviously saying it best here. So big up to Lucy's fat. She's obviously saying that Barrios has had his draws in his last two fights. Everyone wants to fight him now. I think Ben's best win is still over old Chris Algieri, who retired a long time ago. Ra agrees with you. He's saying true. If Connor's KOs Ryan Garcia, it's a statement. I agree. And Ra is also saying that Eddie would want to sell out big in Ireland, and he's reserving that IBF title for Conor Benn, you know, because it's still kind of in this region, so it's more feasible to make happen, man. So I agree with Ra, you know, that could be the potential outcome. Who knows?
However, it could, but it will be. Let's just say, okay, he's fought Ryan Garcia and he's fought Marius Barrios and he beats him. He's now WBC champion. It'll be even bigger if he fights, you know, the IBF, whoever becomes champion, you know, in the UK. It'll probably be. I could be wrong. I can't see it being Tottenham. I could be wrong, but I think it'll definitely be O2 Arena. It'll sell out O2 Arena.
It's a fair point as well. FK Breeze doesn't think Ben has a chance against Paddy. Paddy beats him, which is obviously his words, which is fair. Imagine Lewis Crockup versus Conor Benn. That would be full smoke. That would be, boy, that would be a good scrap, man. I would like, and the reason why I would like that is because you got two domestic fighters battling it out, and we can get to see where Ben's really at on a domestic level, because at the moment, Lucy said it best. His best win at the moment is looking like Chris Algieri, man. And look, he needs to be more active. But obviously, he's had the issues, the situation. He's obviously had that big fight with Eubank as well. I would say forget about Eubank to focus on the welterweight division, and let's see. The division's obviously wide open right now. You know, you've got the champions. Obviously, the IBF is going to be contested for, you know, in Ireland. You know, Mario Barros is the WBC. WBO is, you know, Brian Norman Jr. as well. So the division's wide open, cuz, man. The Ring Magazine belt. Yeah. That's why, cuz, they should do a Super 6 tournament. I've said this just previously. They need to do a tournament with all of these champions, and we can just decide who is the best welterweight. Call it the welterweight Warzone.
If they've got a budget, they'll do it. But where would they do it? Like, would it be in America, or would it be in Saudi? Where? Or here in the UK?
I'll tell you, cuz, exactly. I'll tell you how they will do it. If you remember in the previous Super 6 tournaments, I'm thinking more the one where, you know, Andre Ward won his Super 6 tournament. They actually did it globally, so they covered various locations in the world. So I would say do it, covering locations in Saudi Arabia, America, the UK. You know, mix it up, man. So each fighter has, you know, a different vibe and environment, man, and it would create a big buzz, man. So His Excellency, if you're watching, if you're listening to this, make a Super 6 happen. You know, you're obviously doing your Riyadh seasons, you know, in the UK, in Saudi Arabia, in America. So why not do a Super 6 tournament? It might take a few years to do it because of the fighters involved, but as a fan, I'm willing to sit back, watch, and see, you know, who rules that division in the end.
Interesting.
You got Staniosis out there as well, and big up to Robin Francis as well. Big up to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. That Eubank fight showed me who Conor is. That kid's got heart and a chin. No, big up to you, Robin, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, he's got a lot of heart. Yeah. And I would rather him focus in his own division as opposed to, you know, getting that extra damage at a higher weight, because we've seen, you know, some of our greatest legends that we've watched in the past, like someone like Roy Jones Jr., for example, going up to heavyweight, becoming heavyweight champion, then he moved back down to cruiserweight, and we saw what happened, man. It's never nice when you're fluctuating up and down in weight, man. But let's see what happens, man. And we got Trill Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill is obviously saying please like, share, and subscribe. Big up to True Dollar Bill. People, just as a reminder as well, the commissioner will be launching, his new single, Topic of Discussion. It's going to be coming out, I think, August 6th. So, Trill, confirm it in the chat. Just confirm it with the people. But yeah, you know what True Dollar Bill is obviously doing with IBH USA, the newest team, on the platform. So big up to True Dollar Bill and the whole of the IBH USA team. Big up, big up, big up. Yeah, cuz man, it's exciting, man. The fighters are young enough to commit to a 2-year Super 6 tournament. I agree. This is what I'm saying, cuz it needs to happen. He moved to light heavyweight straight into the. Yeah, I know. He lost too much muscle in that fight, and you saw what happened to him, man. So, yeah, appreciate you, brothers. No, it's all love, man. Appreciate you. That's why with the moving up in weight, it doesn't help, man. But I do understand for this occasion, he had to do it for the Eubank fight. We've seen it once. He wasn't really too damaged in that fight, not too much. So he's still young. Do a welterweight, man. Let's not waste time. He's still young.
Yeah, he can definitely do. But we're talking about Eubank. Sorry, Conor Ben. What about Harlem Eubank? He should be in the mix. If any, do you know what? I wouldn't even mind. Look, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Conor Ben, Harlem Eubank, or Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, put them in the mix, 100%. Cause I would love it. That's why I'm saying, because if they want to do a Champions one, they could, but then they got to throw a few people that's in that kind of top 10. So I would love it. I would absolutely love it, man. I know FK Breeze is saying Harlem KMT. Look, you got to put him in a mix, man, at the end of the day, man. And Ray Trilogy, True Dollar Bill. So we're locked in for August 6th, topic of discussion. So big up to you, my brother. He's just confirming that. That's why I think will be done when he gets Canelo. Ooh, okay.
What's
he's
that?
too sick. He won't even know what he's doing. I think he's talking about Harlem Eubank, man. So let's see.
I mean, listen, the division at the moment is firing up, and it will be interesting to see as well who Rolly Romero will defend this title to. It'll be interesting just to see, okay, because what tends to happen is like, okay, he's a champion now, but they'll fight someone who's, I don't know, top 20 or whatnot. I just want to see them just fight somebody top 10. Let's have it, man. Welterweight is one of the best divisions in the boxing scene. Welterweight and light heavyweight.
Yeah, man. That's why Ring is putting together a tremendous event. I can't wait for this, man, because we get to see what Haney is really about. And love Haney or hate him, cuz you still got to give him respect for taking on a big fight, man, because I think he's fighting a true puncher in the division, a true welterweight as well. So it's going to be a big challenge, and I can't wait to see it. Norman needs this fight because this fight kind of, builds his notoriety. And at the same time, Haney needs this fight because he needs to show to, most fans that, he can mix it up with, some of the heavy hitters in the division as well. So you guys think Pacquiao beats him? Could be like the Furman fight all over again. Whew. I don't.
So Pacquiao beats Romero.
I'm guessing so, cuz I'm guessing.
I don't. It's a weird one because with Broly, he's a good fighter, but it's just sometimes he switches off. So apparently, when he fought Ryan Garcia, he said he didn't even train. It's just one of them ones. He just fought him, but I don't know because just remember, Romero lost to I've forgotten the guy's name. He's an old man.
Yeah, Barroso, man. Yeah, Barroso.
That's it. Yeah, and I'm thinking, boy, do you know what? And Pacquiao's quicker than my man. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, like I would lean more towards Pacquiao on that one if Pacquiao was to fight Romero, and I'm not even trying to disrespect Romero, but yeah,
You got the Pac-Man,
it'll be peak, yeah.
bruh. So obviously you got Chris saying it will be peak. People, what do you think if Barrios, not even Barrios, Rolly Romero, if he was to fight Pacquiao? What's your thoughts? Is it going to be a situation where we see the old guard come back against the new guard? But I think for me, the way Rolly is, I don't think he'll allow that to happen this time round, man, because he's at a weight that he's more comfortable at welterweight. He's gaining his confidence, especially after that win against Ryan Garcia as well. In that fight against Ryan Garcia as well, I think he didn't even come off second gear in that fight because he didn't really need to,
Yeah, yeah, it's true. But I just look, just going by his previous fights he's had in the past. I don't know. He just 1 minute he switched on, next minute he switched off. So I don't know. Will Pacquiao, remember, Pacquiao wants a title. Pacquiao, is a household name. Fighting Pacquiao again, he's getting paid. It will probably be one of his biggest paycheck. But yeah, I'm if they make that fight happen, I'm rooting for Romero. But at the same time, I just don't understand what is the issue with PBC and Turkey Sheikh. I don't quite get it, because wouldn't you want your fighters to make money? Because as a promoter, you're making money as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a bit confused.
What, from my understanding, and look, Lucy is obviously speaking a lot of facts here. This can be a PBC fight, so Rolly Romero versus Pac-Man, which is easier to make. I think that with PBC, obviously, Raz just saying that Ben versus Harlem would make sense as a 147-pound final eliminator, which is true. Ben beats him. But yeah, I think with PBC and Al Heyman, I think he likes the fact that he's in his own lane. He's not crossing over, with Ring, with the Zone. He's still kind of doing his own thing with Amazon Prime as well. And for that, he's still putting on shows. He's still putting on events. And I think that will continue until, something, eventually gets him to be like, you know what, let's do a collab. But I just think right now he doesn't need it. So I could explain.
I hear you,
PBC
that
in the long run. Oh, look, this is Ra's explanation, cuz so PBC are in for the long run, so need to keep their assets safe. So I'm guessing keep their fighters safe from losing titles, etc. So
I
I
get that. But the only problem is that they're not making the fights happen. Like look, we just said, look, the welterweight division, the champions, they need to fight each other. So then we can have one unified champion. But it's not going to happen. It's not. It's just unfortunately it's not going to happen. And as a fan, it's just like, well, it's just, what's the point? It's like, look, sorry, I'm going to change the subject a little bit here. If we don't see AJ v Fury, bro, I feel that they've disrespected the British public, big time.
Oh, cuz I'm so sorry to disappoint you on that one. I know you've changed the subject, man, and I know Fury kind of talks, man, but I think Fury's obviously just come out and said he's never come out to boxing, coming back to boxing. I do believe also that he's invested, because I'm really into my horse racing, man. He's invested in a horse now called the Gypsy King. He was at the Doncaster event yesterday, seeing his horse, come last. So he's got a lot to do in that aspect, man. So maybe he's found like a new venture now that can just keep him, in his toes, man. But I don't think for boxing right now, man, he's really interested as well. I'm curious to see how well PBC does in attracting younger fighters in the future. I think they will struggle, which is fair. PBC don't believe in their fighters. Same thing when Crawford was ready to smoke all of them, they shut them down. And it makes sense, as PBC is strictly in the US market. Americans will never care about European fighters competing in Riyadh. So look, these are some good points here, man, from Ra, man. So big up to you guys getting involved. How could you believe Fury? He said Usyk. You know what? We don't know, man. We don't know, man. I just think that I don't think he's on it, man. I don't think he's on it.
He's on it. Listen, he's on
You
it.
know,
They just need to dangle the carrot in his face, and then he'll jump on it. He's on it. It's just one of them ones where, you know, they've both achieved a lot, but they need to fight each other. And not just that. Look, they've both lost twice to Usyk. They're both Brits. Frank and Eddie Hearn both work together, so the fight will be even easier to make. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before they were beefing, where it was harder to make. So what's the excuse? There's what is the excuse? I mean, come on, what is the excuse? There's no excuse, unless he's just like I said, on paper, Fury should win. But remember, if Usyk dropped Fury, now imagine if AJ drops Fury, it could be night. Some could argue and say, yeah, but Wilder done it, but that was them. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's had the trilogy with Wilder, and do you know what I mean? They're not the same. Even Wilder's not the same no more. Yeah, none of them are. But hey, that's just my opinion. But we shall wait and see. But yeah, welterweight division, yeah, it's booming. It's booming, definitely.
Yeah, it's booming, man. And Lucy's obviously saying, I don't think Fury AJ happens. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong as well. I genuinely think like this is something that, needs to happen in England. Wembley needs that kind of fight. This will be kind of a farewell for both fighters as well. And I would love to see that fight, man. That would be a tremendous fight, between both guys that are, coming up to the end of their careers, I would say. So why not, get the biggest fight, man? But back to the welterweight Warzone, cuz, you know what? Let me just ask you this question before we wrap up the show, cuz, man, as it's the title of the show. Who, in your opinion, cuz, will rule the welterweight division? If you were to sort of place a bet on one fighter it doesn't even have to be undisputed, to maybe be unified or to be the top of the division, what fighter do you think is going to be in the welterweight division?
I will probably say for now, Haney.
Oh, you're going for the former undisputed champion, the former, super lightweight champion, and the man now who's chasing his third world title in a new weight, welterweight, against Brian Norman Jr. That's a good shout, cuz. For me, I'm not gonna go for a prediction one, but I'm gonna go for someone currently in the division. I think Brian Norman Jr. is gonna show his doubters that he is the true Assassin 2.0. His dad previously was a fighter himself, been in the ring. So from a fighter's experience, he can help his son at that level. And I think, he's going to need a fighter like Haney to build his notoriety as well. So let's see what happens. Everyone's, obviously talking about, imagine if it's Pac-Man again.
Oh my gosh. If that's the case, then it's just a disgrace.
I know you said that a few times, cuz, isn't it?
It's just a disgrace. No, because it's like
they're legendary Pac-Man.
These young cats, you'd think, all right, cool. They're the new killers. They're the new, they're that guy. But then for somebody who retired 5 years ago to come back and to unify that division, bro, you need to ask yourself some questions, man. You really need to ask yourself, like, what am I doing here? It's not that it's embarrassing, but it's just, that's mad. He retired 5 years ago. 5 years.
I know, cuz, man. It just lets you know, man. It's just the division right now is wide open. And the FK Breeze, I'm going for Norman Jr. to do it, and he will send him into the shadow realm, man. But I can't even lie to you, man. I do like Haney, but I got Norman to do it, man. I think Norman Jr., his power at the division, him being the natural welterweight, could work in his favor. But I do agree with you guys that, Haney has got the skills to outbox him for 12 rounds, and he could make it a negative fight. We saw in the last card that, Haney, by any means necessary, he can do what he needs to do to get the victory. So from that aspect, yes. So I'm actually being you, cuz in this situation, I'm picking the underdog to, cause an upset, man. And obviously you got the favorite in Devon, which makes sense. That's the bookie's favorite right now. Even through the poster, cuz normally you would put a champion on the left-hand side, but they got Haney on the left-hand side, man. So look, it's kind of being built for Haney here, man. So let's see, who rules the division as well. And Robin's saying that Haney can be a tricky man, going to be interesting. Hopefully, definitely, it will be an interesting one. I can't wait for it, and cuz I can't wait for it once again, man.
Yeah, man. Boy,
that's it, man. It is what it is. Now, we did a bit of overtime for the people, so big up to you. And cuz, big up to you for coming up with a tremendous title, a tremendous topic for the show as well, because the welterweight division is looking interesting, and there's a lot of subplots, of course. You got Conor Ben. Can he cause an upset and pick up all the belts in the wide open division? Or is Manny Pacquiao? Is Pacquiao gonna come back as a legend and do his thing? Or is Mayweather gonna just be like, F it, I need another WBC belt to add to the connection, man. Let me just come back and win, man. Let's see.
If Pacquiao won that fight, Mayweather would have come back.
Yeah, for that
come back.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, it is what it is, man. Or are we gonna see, the underdog in the fight, Brian Newman Jr., rule the division and pick up all the belts that he wants to pick up, man, because he wanted to do the unification, with Boots for all those other belts. So that would have been three. That would have been basically 3 belts out of the possible 5 that, is on the line. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. But yeah, people, once again, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 223 Welterweight Warzone, with myself, yours truly, Trey, and my cousin, Mr. Sports Entertainment, BIYENGE. Make sure, people, you're following what my cousin's doing on his socials. He's doing some tremendous content, with his wife, with his family, and, they're creating their own lane in terms of comedy, skits. It's like the Cosby shows, but in this little kind of snips, man. So now, big up to you, cuz, man, once again, and big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family as well. The energy is just great. So people, just keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing, let a friend of a friend know about this platform, and we'll continue to do what we do to bring you tremendous content. So, cuz, we've obviously got a special guest on Wednesday. Just please make sure you have that notification on and just follow us on the socials. We'll obviously be promoting it on the IG and X and the rest of the stuff that you do follow us. But cuz, I'm handing it over to yourself. FK Breeze is saying BIYENGE's still shadowboxing these days. Yeah, man, he's shadowboxing on a different level. Don't forget little Zaire. Obviously, big up to Ra. He's saying great show. Well done, guys. Now, big up to you, FK Breeze. Big up to Robin. Big up to Lucy's Fats. Big up to everyone who tuned in, man. So, cuz, hand it over to you.
Yes, keep tuning in. Like my cousin said, thank you again. No, honestly, thank you, guys. Thank you. We'll do it for you guys, and we just enjoy talking about boxing, etc. We've got our special guest next week, Wednesday at 7:30. Stay tuned. Have a lovely, productive week. Peace and love. Blessings.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now with your bag it up. Light up my scarf with a sweet one, please. Someone flex me.